So today we're going to look at 4 phrases that regularly appear in the IELTS test at the beginning of IELTS Writing Task 2 questions. And I'm going to show you how to really effectively paraphrase these 4 really common phrases. So number 1, a lot of questions begin, some people think or believe or feel or say that something. This is one of the most common ways that IELTS Task 2 questions begin. The simplest way to paraphrase these is to just use one of the alternatives. So if the question gives you some people think, you can use some people believe. If the question gives you some people believe, then use some people think. Obviously, that is still quite similar to the original. So if you want to take it a step further, then you can change from the active into the passive voice. So instead of some people think, you can begin with it is thought or it is sometimes thought. Likewise, if it begins some people say, you could begin your essay with it is sometimes said or it is sometimes claimed. Now remember, if you use the passive, you don't need to add by people. It's already clear that you are talking about people. So your Writing Task 2 introduction could begin, it is sometimes thought that adverts strongly influence us to buy things. However, adverts can also be viewed as helpful and informative. In some IELTS questions, instead of some people, the question will begin many people think or believe, etc. In this case, you could change many to a large number of. So instead of many people say, you could simply say a large number of people say. Here again, you could go to the passive voice. So instead of a large number of people say, you could say it is said by a large number of people. Number 2, in many countries. In Writing Task 2 questions, you will quite often see this phrase in many countries. Here again, you can replace many with a large number of. So, in a large number of countries. Now, you don't have to put this phrase at the beginning of the sentence. So you could also move it to the end of the sentence. So if we take an example question, we could paraphrase it as mobile phone apps are being used more and more to pay for goods and services in a large number of countries. Now notice when you move in a large number of countries to the end of the sentence, you don't need to add any comma. Number 4, nowadays a growing number of. So this is another phrase that you will regularly see at the beginning of IELTS Writing Task 2 questions. Here we can replace nowadays with these days, or alternatively, in the modern world. A growing number of can be changed to an increasing number of, or simply more and more. So finally we have, in the modern world, more and more people who have problems with their health are experimenting with alternative medicines and treatments rather than using normal health services. Number 4, in the future people will. In questions about future developments or changes, you might see a question using in the future, people or governments or companies will do something. Firstly, instead of saying in the future, you could simply say in future years. And rather than more people, we can use a phrase we saw a little earlier, a growing number of people or an increasing number of people. And in this question, will is used to make a prediction. So we can also use going to make predictions. And in this case, that would be an easy way to change from will to going to. Finally, we have in future years, a growing number of people are going to opt for domestic rather than international travel. If you can paraphrase these 4 beginnings of IELTS questions, you will already have a head start on test day. I highly recommend that you practice paraphrasing IELTS questions, not just the beginnings, but the entire questions, as this will really help you to increase your range of vocabulary and be prepared to write excellent introductions for your essays on test day.